can't believe nobody's asked this yet. How was the soundtrack?
That I thought was disappointing. I think that for the previous two movies,
So he blew his wad on the second one. Yeah,
it was absolutely spot on. But this time, I felt that the selection of songs on the whole was pretty boring. There's like one song or a couple of songs that kind of work in there, but really, I think that this one time they did a bad selection of songs to use. Which is disappointing considering how good, especially the soundtrack for the first movie was. The second one wasn't half bad, but here, yeah, this was pretty disappointing, I have to say. So it's like it's not that the songs are bad, it's just that I think that every single time a song was used, a more pulse pounding, better song could have been chosen.
Well, I actually have the list right here. It has Creep, the acoustic version by Radiohead, Crazy on You by Heart, Since You've Been Gone, performed by Rainbow, which we've seen in the trailers, In the Meantime by Space Hog, which we've also seen in the trailers, Reasons, performed by Earth, Wind, and Fire, Do You Realize by the Flaming Lips, We Care a Lot by Faith No More, Carnival, or Kino no, the Kino no Carnival from Minuet Waltz, performed by EHAMIC, whatever that is. I'm Always Chasing Rainbows, performed by Alice Cooper. San Francisco from the Mogwais, or Mowgli's, sorry. Poor Girl, performed by X. This Is the Day, performed by the No Sleep Till Brooklyn. So that's two movies that's been in this year.
That actually was just distracting for that very reason.
Dog Days Are Over, by Florence and the Machine, Badlands for Bruce Springsteen. Well, there's where some of the money went. I Will Dare by The Replacements, and Come and Get Your Love Again by Redbone. Yeah, this one's not as I can see where you're saying this one doesn't have the kick that the first two did. Especially the second one. The second one was, I would say, the superior of the two, but yeah, this has a lot of
yeah, there's no kick in this one, I think.
Don't forget, they cost a lot of money.
Well, that's what I just said. They spent all their money on Springsteen on this one, obviously. The first movie, they spent all their money on Fleetwood Mac and George Harrison.
They could have gotten
this one right here. This is one that they since now the soundtrack is based on like the Soon thing that he got in the second movie with hundreds of songs. Here they actually had the opportunity to go to the 90s and fill the movie with kick-ass 90s songs. The only
there's a few.
There's
not
a few,
many.
but not enough.
No,
they could have done better, and they could have done it for cheap. So my biggest complaints is actually one very unpulse pounding soundtrack. And Chato, you're gonna definitely agree with this one. Okay. There wasn't enough Gearpool. It was too much of the nano stuff. That was like, they really. I mean, goddamn Alonso. I mean, even here, she found a way to ruin it with the over reliance on like nano stuff.
Ear touching.
Yeah. So
that's too bad. I always remember Schwarzenegger. What is it, Commando, where he's putting the stripes on, and then he's getting the guns and loading up, and it felt like a 15-minute scene. That was great.
Well, they had that in the first Guardians movie.
Yeah. No, they had gear porn in the first movie.
And the second one, but it's not as
I don't recall.
Well, they had some, but not as much.
Well, thanks for the warning. I you know what? What would have been neat is if they filled it with the worst Eurovision music of all time. See, that would have been at least cool.
Andre's got a point though. I was actually expecting a little bit more deeper cut stuff from the 90s, like more alternative music. I'm kind of like, to me, like I Care a Lot by what's their faces. That's kind of lame.
See, I mean, we could all right now
no more.
Come up with like
there's a lot better Faith No More songs.
Epic.
Yeah.
indeed, epic is But
And same thing with Beastie Boys. I mean, Intergalactic would have been perfect here.
And you guys are talking about all this old stuff. Where's the dubstep? We need dubstep in this.
No, that's the thing. Is after 2000, music got crap.
No, go back farther. Kraftwerk.
Okay,
sure.
See, that would be great.
You'd have the dust model in there. That would be something.
Oh yeah.
What about Miley Cyrus? Why?
No.
Peter would never. Miley Cyrus was post Peter going into space.
Sure, but I mean, he
but that's the whole point that Andre's making is with the Zoom thing, the little iPod new Zoom thing he's got.
Yeah.
He has hundreds of songs on it or thousands of songs.
Yeah, I mean, and come on, I mean, you want to feed the agenda? Let's have some Pink, right? And a little bit of Katy Perry. Come on.
Yeah, or D. Bud Martin.
Like Rammstein, missed out.
Rammstein? Well, Du Hast came out in 1997. So certainly assuming that this thing.
Some Red Hot Chili Peppers. I mean,
Deep Purple. Purple. That would be great. Highway Star.
I can't believe they haven't used that yet, to be honest with you. That's a good one.
Zooming through the galaxy, listening to Highway Star, would that be insane? Whoa, although, the lyrics are not Disney friendly.
No, but I mean, I'm kind of surprised, to be honest with you, not to drag out this conversation any longer, but I mean, I'm not expecting Nirvana and shit, but James Gunn is, between, our ages here on the group.
Oh, yeah.
He should know some pretty decent shit out of the 90s.
And apparently he writes his screenplays while listening to the songs that he wants. Yeah, maybe he's not so hip anymore.
I was disappointed with the soundtrack. I have to say that.
Darn.
Garbage would have been another good one.
Ooh, Garbage would have been great.
That's what I mean. Yeah, not the obvious choices, but like some a little bit more deeper cut.
Oh, yeah.
90s.
Queer by Garbage. That would have been something.
Blur.
That would have been good.
Where the fuck's Blur?
Song 2. My God, Song 2.
Exactly.
Perfect for the finale here.
Or Boys Against Girls.
If Blur's Song 2 had replaced the Beastie Boys song, the No Stop Till Brooklyn, which we already had in Super
I can't
Mario,
believe that's not in it, to be honest. Yeah.
That would have been so much better.
See, now
someone needs to do like a fan cut of the movie with a better soundtrack.
Yeah, I want to see a scene with a firefight with Pocket Full of Shells from Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah, some Rage, definitely. Offspring would have been nice.
The Waitresses.
And
they actually have a song, I think, on the if it's not the Guardians Christmas one, it's on the Hawkeye Christmas one.
And you can go against the grain too, where during a very incredibly violent scene, you play 10cc I'm Not in Love.
I'm not in love.
See, you do that kind of stuff. Counter.
That's a bring back to the original film too. Oh, this would have been a funny scene
Bismarck
if he was singing Bismarck Key to
Bismarck is.
You got what I need, but you say he's just a friend.
But you say he's just a friend.
Oh baby, you. And we're not singing it out of tune. That's how it sounds.
Well, yeah, I know. Actually, it's never been more in tune than it was right there.
I'm sure the Google algorithm will pick up on that,
or some NWA or something like that screams 90s. I mean, something. I mean, I don't know.
Anyway, that's actually my biggest complaint with the movie. Is the lack of oomph in the soundtrack.
I'm a little let down. I was a little let down by the Suicide Squad too, though, because that one kind of felt like it was kind of like Guardians of the Galaxy light.
I was howling all the way through it.
I like the movie, but I'm talking about the soundtrack.
I see.
Yeah, it just felt kind of like Guardians of the Galaxy light.
I didn't even notice the soundtrack.
That's what I mean. Exactly. There's some good tunes on it, but not like standout tunes. You've got Point of No Return and some other stuff on there, but
that wasn't needed because the Suicide Squad already takes place on Earth, whereas because of the space setting, James Gunn used the soundtrack to ground it.
Well, and Dearest brings a point.
That's a good observation.
In the first two movies, they have to be songs Quill's mom's like, that was the original ones. These are ones, though, that they set this up at the end. If you remember part 2, what's his face? Sean Gunn's character. I always forget his name. He gives Quill the little Zoom thing, which is like an iPod, which was the failed version of it.
No, you're talking about the Microsoft Zoom.
Yeah, the little Microsoft Zoom.
Not iPad.
Anyway, he gets a new device with
Zoom.
300 songs not chosen by his mother, which gave them
chosen by
range for the third movie, and they blew it.
Well, it was chosen by his dad. Remember?
I can't remember.
Yeah.
Those 300 songs?
Well, whatever was on there, yeah, were chosen by...
those 300 songs, they were whatever was on the thing that they got. There was no selection. No one chose those songs for him.
Oh, I thought they were setting it up at the end of part 2 as if they were songs that what's his face had put on it.
Yeah, no. He hadn't put
Yondu.
the songs on it. Yeah, no, Yondu just got one, and whatever was on it was on it. It's not that he made a. I guarantee you, Yondu did not go through a library of Earth songs to handpick 300 for Quill. No. He just got one. And it had 300 songs on it.
And then Tennille cannot believe that Duhast is that old. How about Sonne?
Sonne, 2003. So yeah. Sonne is now 20 years old. Came out with Mutter, which is one of the greatest albums ever made, by the way. So if you haven't checked out the album Mutter by Rammstein, check it out. That's the equivalent to Metallica's Black Album. And yeah, that is now 20 years old. Damn, time flies.
Yeah, it does. So let's get back to the top of these super chats here. We got Marcus Moeller, if I'm saying that right, who sends in €5 and says Citadel's second expensive series ever. They planned an entire franchise around it, and nobody talks about it. Yet another failure by Amazon. Yeah, I've only heard very little about it. You watched it, right?
Don't tell me about Citadel.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Is that a book?
No, it's a show on Amazon. Well, I think it started as a book, but
that's what I mean. I saw the first show. Dreadful. Like, oh
yeah,
my
I remember
God.
you talking about it.
Oh, exposition everywhere, and the stuff you actually tell an expert, experienced spy. Watch out! They've got the nuclear device in his bag. Like, Stanley Tucci utters the worst shit. It's terrible. It's a 3-year-old wrote it. That's
Dulios,
and the music sucks too.
Before with that super chat, I just have to correct myself. Sorry, Sonne did not come out in 2003. It actually came out in 2001. So it's even worse. I just thought 2003 because that's the first time I saw them live, and that was still during the Mutter tour. But Mutter, the album, came out in 1, and so did Sonne.
See, they need to have a movie with songs from Slipknot, that kind of stuff. No one does that kind of.
Well, give it 20 years for a generation to be nostalgic.
You might like the Freddy versus Jason soundtrack.